Yesterday my new motor came in. So it's supposed to have, according to its spec sheet, 52 millimeter cylinder and piston, 55 millimeter stroke, and be a 125. But that would be a 119, not a 125, which, I mean, that's kind of what they call them anyway. And it's the same specs as this. So I took all the top ends apart, found out, guess what? That one already has a 54 millimeter. So that one's already a 54. It's either a 54 55 or probably a 54 54. So that's good. That's pretty much what I wanted, even though it wasn't advertised as such. I also found out it already comes with the gear shift indicator that I ordered as well, even though it was advertised to not come with that. So I switched the intake over and everything to that new motor as I put them together. I also put this adapter plate for an oil cooler on there, and then got them ready, so they're ready to swap. However, looking at them, I was hoping without the starter I'd be able to run that facing the other way. And if you look, this is right over flywheel, and this is right over flywheel. So don't think it's going to work that way. I'll have to swap that around. The sprocket cover, so need the whole thing off. I'm going to put in my other gears as well, or my other bolts. Just going to get that in there loose. Slightly different, what do you know? It does appear to be. That's what I need to adjust big time. Dang, that sucks. This one's pretty much opposite. So I'm going to take more off here and bring this out further. Ooh, yeah. Nice. This is actually, it is going to be tight enough. I won't need tensioner. Awesome. Yep, so it's actually not by much, and it is just the filter. So let's take the filter off. That being said, maybe one of the foam angled ones will do me better. Yeah, and if it's just that Zerk, I can always remove the Zerk. I don't need it. That's for this to be able to rotate. It's got some junk jammed in it, and it's solid anyway, and I don't want it to rotate, so that Zerk fitting is never going to get grease. So now, let's see here. If I have a 45-degree foam one, it might be enough to clear this. Oh, not 45, probably 15 degree, I think. And then I'll have enough room to mount my fuel tank right here. So it'll be nice and short and directly to it, directly over it. So I'll be able to get this at nice inclines and still have the tank above it. And that was my main reason for wanting to flip it anyway, so it's not way out here. because then the hood's shorter, the amount of room I have is significantly less. So that's perfect. So what I want to do now, let's tape over that carb before I forget. That way we don't get any crud in it while I wait on my new filter that I'm gonna have to get. All right, now let's fumble this exhaust back on there. It should bolt the same up to this one, since it's pretty much the same. There we go. There's no exhaust flange on there, so it'll change slightly. But there we go. And it actually sits straight on this motor, so that's good. It's slightly different than the other motor. Now that I have that in there, let's work on this, getting this radiator oil cooler put in here while it's all open. All right, so here's a bag of parts. I got some oil lines, radiator, the other oil line. So this came as a kit. And there's some mounting brackets and some bolts and hardware. All right, so here is the radiator. This looks pretty decent. So it looks like it's meant to be mounted from above. We'll mount it like this. So to mount it here like this, I'll obviously need something here. Heck, I could probably even just wonder if I can flip this bracket over. Ah. All right, now I'm still gonna put this little grill on there, because why not? All right, there we go, radiator flipped. All right, now I need a bracket to mount it here. So let's see, I pretty much put that right over the hitch. So I need to be 4 inches higher than the hitch. Perfect. All right, now let's weld this right there. Right there. All right, I got that welded up and it cools down. So now let's get this mounted. I don't want to do them too tight and snap things. So there we go. Beautiful. Solid. All right. Now we've got these lines we've got to connect. So it doesn't really matter which one goes where. I did forget washers though. It's got these nice little washers with these seals on them. One goes on each side to seal this up nicely. I'm trying to think of the best way here to do this. I want to put the least amount of stress on the lines and the mounts. So just trying to find good angles here to where that'll want to be that way anyway. That'll probably be the best. Oh yeah, that might be better. Oh yeah, much better. So these springs are obviously here to keep it from chafing on stuff. Now that we've got it there and mounted, we'll put the grill on and see how that fits. Make sure it clears. It's completely through. There we go. Oh, it doesn't hit. How nice. So there we go. Radiator. Oil cooler. Yes. There you go. Look at that. Solid mount too. Cool. Now, I want to form the piece that's going to cover this side. Take what we can. So I'm going to bend it more on this side so it fades away. So now it's time to weld her up, but hey, hey, hey. There we go. All right, today is actually day 3 of this episode. Isn't that crazy? So one day I rebuilt that motor. Another day I put it in there, put it up and built this side. Another day I'm going to do today's stuff, which is going to be trim this and try and make my dashboard. There we go. Whoa, I did it. Boom. Now I need a way to mount this. So I'm gonna do it pretty simple. I'm just gonna put a strap on the inside that I can tighten up like a hose clamp. All right, so I cut this strip of metal and I cut this, it's an extra garage door seal. I cut a little piece of it off. I want it so it's wide enough to go around this. So let's use this as a guide, cut this lip off, we don't need that. Now I might use one to weld it on and then maybe another one after. Because the first one for sure is going to act like an insulator so I don't burn through my thing while I tack this on. All right, now what I want to do, I want to take this, get this on here, where it would be. Now I want to figure out the rotation that I want that. So let's see, if that's the top, and the way it's going to be in there, I want it over here like this, so I can get a wrench on it easily. And I'm going to put some tack welds. Just a couple, nothing crazy, because I still want to be able to open. There we go. It's got a dashboard. Look at that. And then the gauge is not like the best spot. It probably maybe would have been nicer if it were a little higher. Would have been best up here. But at least there. I can clearly see it from this position. It's right there. Switch panel's gonna go here. Got some other stuff here. Other thing there. Stuff and things. Look at that, back to the 70s, boys. Yeah. Gonna need some screws to put in there. I'll find some, I'll worry about that next time. Yeah, sucker. Yeah, fire the missiles. Gauges. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Yes. My switches will go in there next time. I might figure out what to do about this. Fill that in. Maybe weld a piece in there or something. Or maybe just do a weird cut on the bottom and make the bottom piece match it. I don't know. We'll see. But that looks cool, doesn't it? That looks cool. I gotta fix that bottom edge, maybe put a weird cut or something, I don't know. But it looks cool, I like it. It's got a dashboard. It's not too pointy, it's smooth. It's just the smooth. The steering wheel's welded back in there. Still works. I guess I didn't smoke the bearing too much, welding that up all the way around. Look at that. Yes. She's pretty. I need to realign this a little bit, but I'll worry about that, I think, when I put the structure inside. Whatever structure that may be. This side seems like it's pretty good still. This is a little high. That's a little in. We'll figure it out. Yes! So much further. I love it. See you next time. Buff it up, 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 buff it up,